died from his injuries. A man charged in a deadly shooting in Hazleton last May has pleaded guilty. Investigators say Jose Sandoval Perez pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter and aggravated assault charges in exchange for the other charges being dropped. Police say he shot two men inside a bar in Hazleton. One of them died, the other was injured. He was sentenced to 70 to 20 years in prison.
Still no word on what sparked a massive fire at the Lehigh Valley Health Network Orthopedic Center in Lackawanna County. Officials tell us this is an active investigation. There's no sign of the fire being suspicious. Crews were back on scene today assessing the damage and cleaning up. Flames broke out Wednesday night at the Lehigh Valley Health Network Orthopedic Center, Dixon City, causing damage and a massive evacuation response. The hospital remains closed.
School will be in session tomorrow at Dallas Area High School after a busted sprinkler pipe.
According to the Dallas School District Superintendent there, fire department officials found the source of the leak where the exterior wall meets the ceiling. It happened last night. Officials say the school's library and 4 classrooms had heavy water damage. The library had about 2 inches of water. School officials say crews will continue working on the impacted areas throughout the week. Again, there will be school tomorrow. All right, it is slowly starting to warm up nicely outside.
You've got Future Alert meteorologist Matthew Howard joining us.
Yeah, it's a little bit warmer outside today, but we're still well below average for this time of year. And if you want some good news, we are going to be seeing some warmer weather as we go towards the rest of the week. More of 30s instead of teens and 20s. Some good news, but we're going to talk a little bit more about that in the full forecast. Temperature right now in Wilkes-Barre, 20 degrees, and we are seeing some clouds starting to move into the region. That wind really not too bad right now, only 5 miles per hour. Temperatures right now, I have 21 degrees in Milford, 19 in Pottsville, and 24 in Towanda. So we are a bit warmer than where we were yesterday. In fact, about 10, 15, even close to 20 degrees warmer than yesterday. A big difference, but it is still cold out there, and that wind is calm now, which is making things a little bit more, feeling a little bit more better. We are fairly quiet across our neck of the woods, but we are going to be tracking some light precipitation, and we're going to see a little bit of warmer weather. I'll talk about that more in your full forecast in a few.
Okay, Matthew, thank you. Another plea from Today Show host Savannah Guthrie as the search for her mother Nancy enters its 2nd week.
Law enforcement has not held a news conference since last Thursday, and they have not talked about getting any proof of life of Nancy Guthrie. Savannah Guthrie said law enforcement is working around the clock on her mother's case.
She was taken and we don't know where. And we need your help. If you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement.
Savannah then pleaded with her followers on Instagram, encouraging them to pray, saying, quote, "We believe our mom is still out there."
The House Oversight Committee held a virtual deposition with Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell today. They continue to investigate who else was involved in the widespread sex trafficking ring exploiting underage girls.
But as CBS reporter Erica Brown explains now, Maxwell did little talking. She has more now from Capitol Hill.
Convicted sex trafficker and longtime Jeffrey Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell appeared before House lawmakers for a virtual deposition Monday, but she refused to answer questions invoking her Fifth Amendment right.
She had an opportunity today to answer questions that every American has, questions that would be very important in this investigation, and she chose to invoke her Fifth Amendment right.
The House Oversight Committee subpoenaed Maxwell for testimony last July. Today, they say they tried to get her to respond to a variety of questions relevant to their Epstein investigation.
Who were the other co-conspirators? Who were the other men who raped these underage girls? Did she have any conversations about a deal with Donald Trump?
Maxwell is serving a 20-year prison sentence for sex trafficking. And in a statement, her attorney said she is prepared to speak freely if she gets clemency from President Trump.
She is campaigning over and over again to get that pardon from President Trump. And this president has not ruled it out. And so that is why she's continuing to not cooperate with our investigation.
Maxwell's virtual appearance came on the same day members of Congress were granted access to the Justice Department's unredacted Epstein files.
I was interested in certain redactions that seemed puzzling to me, and I wanted to go and see were there actually names of victims in there. that caused the redactions, and in the overwhelming number of cases, there were not names of victims there.
Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer says 5 more depositions related to the Epstein probe are scheduled, including with former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Lawmakers in Washington, D.C. may vote this week on the Save America Act. It would require voters to show ID at the polls to prove they are American citizens. Pennsylvania's U.S. Senator John Fetterman is breaking with Democrats and supports the measure. Democrats argue the bill will disenfranchise Americans who don't have up-to-date identification.
Proposed legislation would change Pennsylvania's vehicle registration cards. That bill would allow drivers to store their registration card digitally rather than carry a paper copy of it. A couple of years back, PennDOT stopped providing paper copies of registration cards, requiring drivers to print them out on their own. Supporters of the bill say fewer homes have printers, and many drivers already pay bills, file taxes, and register to vote online without paper. Still to come on this Monday edition of 2822 News at 7, a young girl putting pen to paper to deal with losing a loved one. Her story is the focus of tonight's Here's to You, Kid.
And later, on the lighter side of news, a popular winter sport you may never have heard of, skijoring.
Topping business and consumer news tonight, retailer Eddie Bauer is filing for bankruptcy. This is the third time in the 106-year-old outdoor apparel retailer has filed for Chapter 11 protection. The company, based in Washington State, operates about 180 stores across the U.S. and Canada. Its e-commerce and wholesale operations are not affected by the filing because they're operated separately. On Wall Street today, the Dow was up 20, NASDAQ was up 207, and the S&P 500 up 32 and change. Well, the day after the Seattle Seahawks won Super Bowl 60, Mattel announced the release of the Seattle Seahawks Barbie doll. Now, this particular Barbie commemorates the team's win and shows her team spirit with a Lego shirt and or logo shirt, I should say, and wide leg pants featuring the Seahawks colors. The doll is made to order and is now available for pre-order for $35 through March 2nd.
Writing projects for most elementary school students are usually limited to a couple of sentences or maybe a paragraph or two, but a local girl did much more than that. She wrote a book for kids to help them understand life and loss. 2822's Mark Hiller introduces us to this week's Here's to You, Kid.
Meet Maya Ann Wasco, a published author at the age of 9.
Every human
is connected to one another. Either way, if they don't like each other, if they like each other, they're still connected.
Maya tackled some pretty complex issues for someone so young in her debut children's book called The Diary of God, a journey of love, life, and the power within.
I want everybody to know that God is always by your side, even in hard times.
Maya shares her personal reflections on everything she learned about life, love, and being fearless. The first chapter is called The Devil is Fear, and fear is an illusion.
We were trying to make it so that it's darkness being happy, and we didn't want to make it look scary.
Maya's mother helped her with the book.
So before the idea of a book began, there was a lot of dark stuff that happened to us last year.
Maya's grandmother and a family pet both passed away. Her great-grandparents were seriously injured in a fire that destroyed their home. Her great-grandmother losing her life a few months later. Maya began using her cell phone to put her emotions into written words.
A lot of people passed away in my family, and it's basically about how I love them and like how you really have a true bond with people that you love.
After seeing what her daughter had written, Maya's mom had an epiphany.
And the more and more I thought about it, it really made it clear that it was definitely book worthy, and that showing her, you know, she could do great things and good things can come out of dark places.
A lot of kids go through rough times, and I haven't noticed that till I went through a really rough time, and I wanted to write a book and hope that my word could go out into all the other children that don't understand, and I hope that my book will help them more.
After a couple of months of writing, The Diary of God was published. Maya leaves a personal message for readers at the end of the book.
And it's basically about to be thankful for everybody you have, thankful for everybody, and especially my mom.
Here's to you, Maya. Mark Hiller, 2822 News.
We'd love to hear who you think would make a great Here's to You kid. Let us know at 2822news.com under the NEPA's Children First tab. Future Alert meteorologist Matthew Howard has your forecast next. But first, as we head to break, drone footage captured stunning views from Canada of Lake Erie's transformation into a vast, snowy desert of ice. The West Pier Lighthouse stands surrounded by that sheet of ice.
Welcome back, everyone. On this Monday evening, we're cold, but not as cold as where we were this past weekend, and we do have some warmer weather to talk about on the way as well. Let's take a look at the temperatures across the region right now. I have 20 degrees in Scranton and Wilkes-Barre, 22 degrees in Lock Haven. I also have 15 degrees for Montrose. So we are cold, well below average still. And as we look at the comparison of where we were to this time yesterday, temperature is about 15 degrees warmer, 10 to 20 degrees warmer on where we were yesterday. And we are going to warm up a bit from here as well as we look ahead over the next few days. As we look right here in Pottsville, we do have some cloud cover. It says it's clear, but some cloud cover is returning to the region. Temperatures right now are into the upper teens, and that wind right now really not a problem. Winds out of the northwest, those weakening winds not allowing for as much cold air as what we've had this weekend. We are seeing those clouds from our north and west, and we are going to continue to be under some clouds, especially over the coming week. We're going to be seeing more clouds than sun generally. And as we look at what happened over the past 3 days, we did have some fairly cold temperatures, high of 10 degrees on Sunday. That actually from way back when, I believe in the 1930s, so it's been a long time since we've seen a record that cold for February 8th. And we were into the low 20s today, so just about 10 degrees warmer on where we were yesterday. And we're going to be about 10 degrees warmer tomorrow as well. Temperatures are going to be into the low and middle 30s. We are going to see the chance of a snow shower in that mid-morning through early afternoon, but most of us are going to stay a little bit more on the drier side, at least for the day tomorrow. But then tomorrow evening, we do get a little bit of a cold front that's going to bring in some pockets of freezing rain. This could bring in a glaze of ice in some spots, and there are going to be some slippery spots possible because of this. So let's time everything out for you. Tonight, we're going to be fairly quiet, partly to mostly cloudy, and we are going to still remain cold, but not as cold as where we were last night. We do see a little bit of some light snow as we get towards late tomorrow morning, so it's going to be more of those flurries and snow showers. Really not expecting much, if any, accumulation from this at all. In fact, a lot of areas will stay dry, but this is more where the big story is coming from. Up north is where we're going to be seeing a little bit more of that precipitation as we get towards this that evening time frame. 7, 8, 9 o'clock, we do have some freezing rain possible for some of the region, and this is because we have some warm air aloft, but it is cold on the surface. So those roadways are very cold right now due to that Arctic blast we had, so there's going to be some freezing on those surfaces, and we are going to be seeing some snow showers possible as we get towards Wednesday, especially for our northern tier. So just keep in mind there could be some light accumulation from that as we get towards Wednesday and Wednesday night. And highs are going to be into the 30s for the most part, but we're going to be below average for this time of year. For tonight, seeing lows into the lower and middle teens, mostly cloudy and not as cold. And then for tomorrow, we're going to see a few rain and snow showers, and once again, evening pockets of freezing rain. Highs are going to be into the lower and middle 30s for your Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday, we see the chance of a snow shower, especially for more of our northern tier. Otherwise, more clouds than sun, highs in the 30s and upper 20s. And then for Friday and Saturday, we're back into the 30s, and we're going to remain dry even for Valentine's Day. Sunday and Monday, a little tricky. We are tracking a storm, so we're just going to keep that in mind. But temperatures above freezing, though, for many days.
Okay, Matthew, thank you. Another Super Bowl in the books.
Yeah, and the team plane carrying the Seattle Seahawks players, the coaches and staff landed safely in Washington. Of course, they're carrying the coveted Lombardi Trophy, which is awarded to the Super Bowl winning team. The Seahawks won its second Super Bowl by beating the Patriots 29-13.
Puerto Rican superstar Bad Bunny turned the Super Bowl halftime show into a full-blown dance party last night. It was a landmark moment for Latino culture, filled with surprise guest appearances and lots of Puerto Rican pride. And the numbers are in. It turns out the singer's show was the most watched halftime performance of all time, with more than 135 million viewers.
In the Instapoll question, what did you think of the Super Bowl halftime show? So far, the votes are at the bottom of your screen. Plenty of time to let us know how you feel on the Instapoll. Scan the QR code on your screen. Go to 2822news.com or the drop-down menu on the app.
Then head to our Facebook page, tell us why you chose the option you did, and you might see your comment on TV.
Well, between the touchdowns, the tackles, Super Bowl commercials made us laugh, cry, and sometimes we asked, what were they trying to sell?
Yeah, but for the companies shelling out millions for the spots, do they actually work? CBS's Evan Moon talked with ad experts about this year's standouts and whether that airtime really turns into revenue.
From humor to heart, commercials steal a lot of the Super Bowl spotlight. This year, nostalgia took center stage with T-Mobile's Backstreet Boys throwback and Dunkin's nod to classic sitcoms and movies. Ad Age Editor-in-Chief Janine Pogge spoke with CBS Mornings about the strategy.
They're trying to reach different demographics across the board. So whether it's Jurassic Park or doing some spoofs on old sitcoms, while also adding Charlie XCX or Alex Earl.
And instead of comedy, some advertisers go for sentiment.
Those moments, some of the quieter moments, tend to stand out for that reason. And they said that, it is a responsibility to use marketing dollars to inspire America.
This year, a 30-second Super Bowl ad cost companies between $8 and $10 million, a big jump from the $7 to $8 million average in 2025, all for airtime that reaches about 130 million consumers. But do these commercials actually pay off?
It actually is very much worth it.
Kantar marketing expert Carrie Benson says the Super Bowl is prime time for profits.
The Super Bowl is kind of a good deal because there's no other venue or entertainment platform that gets people to talk about brands the way that the Super Bowl does. Say it's $10 million for an ad. You're going to get $8.6 in return on that for every dollar spent.
Benson says the winners are often the ads that make you laugh.
We have data that shows the harder you make people laugh, the more they'll remember your brand.
And she says AI-created commercials don't do as well.
We saw Svedka come out with a 100% AI ad, and it was fun, and to their credit, they used robots, but the ad didn't score as well as some of the ads that were made by humans.
Brands playing for sales, turning these moments into money.
You're coming.
Evan Moon, CBS News, New York.
Yes, I promise not to.
As we head to break, how does pizza sound for dinner? Why not? Hey, it's National Pizza Day.
Pizza had its start in Naples, Italy, and there's always a debate over the best toppings from pepperoni to pineapple. Some pizza places are offering some deals today, so enjoy.
And here's what's making news across the nation and around the globe tonight. Congress has just days to reach a compromise on immigration enforcement reforms before funding lapses for the Department of Homeland Security.
Democrats have a list of 10 demands, including ending roving immigration patrols, mandatory body cameras, and unmasking of officers, while Republicans say they're only open to some of the reforms on the Democrats' list. One person was shot inside of a high school in Rockville, Maryland.
Yeah, police say this is an active incident now. One person was taken into custody. The shooting happened at the end of the school day, about 2:15. Authorities have not said anything about the victim's condition or identity. There are no details on a suspect or motive at this time. Back in 2024, the FBI and Montgomery County Police stopped a shooting plot at the same high school.
Check this out. A heavily armed gang in Italy attempted to pull off a brazen armored truck heist.
Yeah, this gang ambushed the truck on a highway while posing as police. They blew it open while shouting at responding police officers. No one was hurt, and 2 suspects were later arrested.
The big party in the Big Easy is underway.
This past weekend kicked off the first full weekend of Carnival parades in New Orleans. Here's one of the more unique groups. The Crew of Barkus is the only Mardi Gras crew that's dedicated for canine populations. Some of the city's most stylish dogs came all decked out in their best purple, green, and gold. It's the crew's 33rd year raising money for animal rescue programs in Louisiana and across the Gulf Coast.
And we're taking some baby steps away from that Arctic air. We are going to be seeing highs this week back into the 30s. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. Mostly cloudy with some rain and snow showers for tomorrow. We see the chance of a snow shower Wednesday and Thursday as well, with more clouds and sun. Friday and Saturday we are going to remain dry, but we are tracking some uncertainty as we get towards the weekend. But we are going to be seeing temperatures above freezing.
All right, thank you, Matthew. Hey, before we go, here's an interesting sport you might see someday during the Winter Games.
Yeah, we're taking you to Utah for skioring. I think of it as kind of water skiing on snow, and you aren't pulled by a boat, but rather a horse. You just let go and jump. This sport started in Norway, where skiers are pulled by, well, reindeer, but we kind of adopted it for U.S. audiences. It'll be an Olympic sport soon, you watch.
I feel like that's just an accident waiting to happen. Thanks so much for watching us at 7.
Fortune Financial Group.
Wyoming County. Our tight-knit communities and breathtaking landscapes make it truly special. But even in a place this magical, we're not immune to the nation's opioid epidemic. Misuse is a growing concern, and it all starts with access. Wyoming County is taking action. We're using opioid settlement dollars to provide safe and secure prescription drug disposal systems and drop-off locations, so unused medications never end up in the wrong hands. Visit wyomingcountypa.gov to find a drop-off location near you.
Happy birthday, America. We have big events planned to celebrate 250 years of freedom.
This March, Italy will welcome extraordinary athletes with incredible stories at the 2026 Winter Paralympics.
2822 now has what you want. Local stories, fresh shows, and it's free. Get it now on Roku, Fire TV, or Apple TV.
Regular programming will not be seen at this time, so we may bring you the following special program.